You know what it is. I'm Parlay.
And I'm
Hunter.
Lifety Green, man. I had to get that
This
Hunter
is
in
a
there, huh?
yeah, this is a Bro Media production. You know what it is. Bro Bets in the house.
Man, hey, I like that shirt you got on there today, man. Where are you going? You want to tell the people you're going to the orchestra, the symphony? Where'd you just tell me you were going?
Yeah, I'm going to an orchestra. And yeah.
Oh, you're
And
broadening your horizon of music, huh? So a little motivation for the next album or something? What we got going on?
maybe,
Uh,
yeah, maybe I'll take some of that. It's like a Chinese orchestra, so um yeah,
I was gonna say something completely out of pocket, but I don't want to be that guy because I'm not that guy. I'm a good guy.
well, now you got us all thinking like
Well,
about
I was
what
just
you're
gonna
saying.
ask where there gonna be appetizers of egg rolls there or anything.
Yeah. No, there's not.
Alrighty. See, now you made me that guy. Now the fans are gonna hate me. But anyways, man,
Nah,
play Super Wild Card weekend. Big finish last week. Hey, the boys got in last week. The Steelers. I'll talk about them at some point.
crazy.
But man, it was an interesting week 18. Some things that we didn't see coming, some things that we did. But let's just go right into the Black Monday this week, man. I believe it was 8 coaches either resigned or fired. They'll say Bill Belichick and the Patriots, they parted ways, but more so we know that they were letting him go anyway. But we'll get to him in a minute. But the other ones that are notable, Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll was a surprise. Obviously, the Chargers had let go of your boy early in the week. Am I missing anybody?
Nah, bro. You can't, Brandon Staley was never my boy. Like, don't even.
I'm jokingly saying that in the sense of
I don't like
you
that
didn't
guy.
like
I
him.
don't
So that
like
was
that guy. Your
yeah.
jokes, people don't know that you're joking. And I was calling for that dude to get out of there for the last 3.5 years. I can't stand that guy.
Okay. Oh, Arthur Smith from the Falcons as well. He was another guy that got fired.
Yeah, I'm happy he's out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you want to speak a little bit on Mike Vrabel's situation, and is it a surprise
Bro,
that the Patriots went with unexperienced Gerard Mayo rather than going with Mike Vrabel? A lot of people thought Mike Vrabel was going to get that Patriots job. How do you feel about that?
it's interesting. I was hearing about Mayo like months ago. Like they were talking about Gerard Mayo taking over about like at the beginning of the year. They were saying, if Belichick does, move on, Mayo is next up because nobody was thinking about Mike Vrabel leaving Tennessee at the 6 months ago. So I think Gerard Mayo was always the candidate to be next up, and I think that they probably thought that they probably knew that this was going to happen at the beginning of the year if they didn't make the playoffs. So I mean, yeah, I think that it's going to be, man, it like the pressure of that organization now. It's like no matter what you want to say, bro, like the expectations are Super Bowls and playoffs. Like it just is what it is. It's like the Lakers, like, and you see with the Lakers how so many coaches have who, like since LeBron came around, a lot of coaches are in and out of there, and it might be a situation like that if they don't have immediate success. It's a win now league, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell the future with the NFL. And I think that Belichick's way of coaching, it's a certain way of coaching. So I don't expect Gerard Mayo to be anything like Belichick. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think he'll be far off. I mean, he definitely is a Belichick disciple. He played for the man for 10 plus years, won a couple Super
What
Bowls,
I
and then he coached under him for the last
Let me
six.
just say something. What I mean by that though is I think they might go after a quarterback.
For sure. I mean, I say this to the style of Belichick. I think he's going to be more of a player's coach. Is going to be a little bit lax, not as military, but still military from an identity of the Patriots of like, we come here to work, you know, um, everybody grab your lunch pail type of mentality. It's a work day. I understand that. But in fairness of when we talk about general manager duties that Belichick has overseen, I think now the Patriots definitely will go get a new general manager. of course, to fill the void if they haven't already. And Gerard Mayo will be a player's coach to where he will want his players to get paid. If you remember, Belichick ran a tight ship of like, if you weren't Tom Brady or if you weren't Richard Seymour the pass or Ty Law, certain guys, Teddy Bruschi, Mike Vrabel, maybe even those guys, because I mean, I can even remember Julian Edelman wasn't getting paid that much. It's like those values will be different now with Gerard Mayo, let alone like just the mentality of like, you know, everybody like, no, I know Gerard Mayo is going to be like, I need some guys, I need some dogs at specific positions, and everybody it'll be more fun. The interviews will be more fun. It won't be dry. It won't be monetary. What I'm trying to say, very mellow. You know how Bill Belichick said he's monotone, very
Yeah.
monotone. I said monetary, terrible order.
Melancholy is, I think, what you were.
Melancholy, monotone, whatever it is, you know, it'll be less of that. So I think the Patriots will be a fun team to watch now. I think there will still be success. Will there be immediate? No, I definitely agree with you. They need to go figure out their quarterback situation. And then their defense is pretty good for the future. You got Christian Gonzalez, who solidified before he got hurt. You have Judon. You have a couple of other linebackers that are pretty good. Defensive line is okay, young. So you need to go make and fill some positions there, but they need to go get some offense, and that's what they need to do. I would definitely
and
change the identity of the offense.
right. I don't think they would have gone, if Belichick was still running the ship, it would have been the same thing. I mean, it's been the same thing for 24 years. Like, I don't think they would have gone after a quarterback. And the thing is like nobody is safe on that team. When your time is up, your time is up. And if they can get value, they'll trade you and get the value. I don't know if that's the case anymore. It's like the Patriots were one of one in the sense of how they ran things. And for the last, since Brady left, it hasn't been, it hasn't been good. So,
well,
I don't know. It's what
in early prediction, in early mock drafts, they're saying they're going to get the Heisman, going to get Jaden Daniels. So I mean, that would be a spark. You've never seen a quarterback, and it's not because he's black. We've seen Cam Newton there. So I don't want fans to be like, oh, you're saying he's no, it's not because he's black. It's more his play style. We've never seen his play style in New England. Like, this dude is a balance. He's not Lamar Jackson yet, but that's who his play style is. Very balanced, running pass. He can throw in the pocket. He can throw the deep ball well. He can throw mid routes well. He can throw short routes well. And then he can run. Now, I will say this. I still think he's 215. He doesn't look like it. I think he needs to gain about at least 10 more pounds, just like Lamar did a couple of years ago, just to be able to, take those hits that he has to take in the NFL, because it's a lot different than college. And he respectfully still doesn't understand the mindset of sliding. And Lamar does a great job of not getting hit. Lamar does a very great job of not taking big hits and cost himself, some career opportunities, unlike the likings of RG3. And it's not RG3's fault now, but in hindsight, RG3 was supposed to be what Lamar was, and Lamar is. So, you got to be able to do that. But I just want to say that if the Patriots do go that way and taking Jaden Daniels, that'll be very interesting to see who does not only them getting him, but who does Gerard Mayo bring in as offense coordinator. So for me, it's going to definitely be a project in New England. This is not a very quick change around. It's going to be some work, but I think first of all, getting a black coach says something, because Bill Belichick has something to do with it, and Robert Kraft as well. And I just feel like it's a new day in New England. And so I think it's an exciting time. I'm not a New England fan, of course, but I just definitely think it's going to be different around there. Any other from the real quick? I know I don't want to spend too much time here, but you got Carolina, you got Atlanta, you have Washington, you have Seattle, you have Chargers, you have Vegas. Forgetting one.
Wow. Well, we want it, we definitely want Antonio Pierce to keep that job in Vegas.
Man,
I think
you know what? It's so weird, bro, about that. I would be so mad. Seattle was the other one. I would be so mad if they bullshit him, if they fuck him over. Pause.
He was a great coach.
Yeah, that would be terrible, bro. Like, he literally turned the team around in the season. There's no way you don't tell me, and the players love to play for him.
Yeah. And they beat, at the end of the year, they beat Kansas City. They beat playoff teams. It makes you go, wow, if he had a full year, what would they have been? They might have been like Houston, with that wild card spot, rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, the play calling was maybe the best for what they were working with. Now, Aiden O'Connell is a rookie. He has got a lot to learn and a lot of room to grow.
I don't think he's the
But
guy, though.
and he might not be, but the play calling was so it was so safe for him, but they were still getting the ball to their playmakers, Trey Tucker and Devontae Adams, and they got Mayer involved. So yeah, I would love to see Pierce keep that job. I'm happy about Arthur Smith. I thought that he, another Brandon Staley type, just too smart for his own good, not giving the ball to his best players type of deal in Atlanta. So I hope they get a good coach there, but I kind of hope they get a new hire. Somebody. I hope that's a kind of a younger hire for the. I mean, that's a team where you want to see the offense and go to work. I mean, there's certain teams, and they already have a good defense. Pete Carroll, I think he's, he might be. We don't know what's going to happen with Pete. I mean, I'm not really sure he's going to be overseeing GM type of thing or what, but yeah, I mean Nick Saban too in college. That should be
We're
interesting.
going there next. We're not, we're going there next. But yeah, don't.
Oh, whoa,
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. I just wanted to let you get in on Black Monday. Just for me, I really want to see what's going to go down in Carolina and Washington. Those two teams have been pretty shitty for the last 5 years to me, and I just think that, or just mediocre. Washington's been very mediocre. You just go bring in Bieniemy. Now you fire what was their coach? I'm blanking. Ron Rivera, thank you, who's a former Carolina coach too as well. In Carolina, you got Bryce Young and this team that is a project. You need to figure this out. We cannot keep seeing Carolina have the top 5 draft pick and there's no turnaround. Carolina at one time was a very good team overall, made it to the playoffs consistently with Cam Newton and things like that. So there needs to be a huge turnaround in who you select. Don't just make an impulsive decision. But you know what? Hey, their owner is a fucking goofy guy, throwing drinks at fans in the stadium. And shit.
David Tepper. Yeah.
So I
Screw that guy.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with those two franchises. On to the next topic. As you said, we don't spend a lot of time. Well, at least Parlay doesn't watch a lot of college football. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines for winning the national championship, by the way. I'm not a big fan, but I do respect greatness, and I do like that Michigan team. I was hating because I am an Ohio State fan. I know you're a big Ohio State guy. I do like the Michigan team. A lot of good brotherhood moments. They praise God for all they do, which is very honorable to me. I like the cornerback. I like Mikey Sanders still. He's a very good nickelback that will make an impact in the NFL. Trust me, anybody will be lucky to get him. Blake Corum is a dog. Donovan Edwards is a dog. Their whole O-line, man, they got some good linebackers, man. Shout out to Michigan. But in other news, obviously, ironically to Bill Belichick, his best friend in college football, who is the greatest coach in college football history. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide Blitz, Bama Blitz. Nick Saban resigns after 7 national. He retires, not resigns. He retires. Because resign means he's going to do another team. No, he retires. Can't believe it. It's a shocker. They've already got Caleb DeBoer from Washington coming in. I mean, I know we don't spend a lot of time with Parlay talking college football, but I already know my thoughts about this. Being a very big college football fan and just being a Bama fan, this is sad, man. I haven't spoke really about it all week. It's surprising to me. And it's not just because it's Bama. It's just because Nick Saban is greatness. And I respect everything Nick Saban represents, who he is, and just, coming in and day out to work to be, because Nick Saban understood it's super hard to be great consistently because it takes maximum effort of doing the same thing. And we are natural humans. And so he understood the law of supernatural with natural and how people's mindset, it took a lot of mind and will to be dominant. And I don't think we'll ever see another coach like that, man. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see him and Belichick and Pete Carroll team up and coach an NFL team. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I thought you were going to say a Pee Wee football team.
No, Belichick could take defensive coordinator. Saban could maybe do head coaching, and Pete could do GM. I think they'd make a good trio. It kind of be like the old guys like Son and all the other younger coaches.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool story. But yeah, no, Nick Saban, he's the GOAT. College football, I mean, it's funny because like during the Nick Saban era of sports betting was you could lay the 45, you could lay the 37 points when they were going against crappy teams, and it was no sweat. They would beat teams by 50, 55 points. So I mean, yeah, I think that I mean, they got some big shoes to fill in Bama, and it'll be interesting. You know what I mean? I think that college football is really changing, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, now also with Dion, we were really hype on Dion in the beginning of the year. Like, there's a new day in college football. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we got to start talking about the future and what's next. So good stuff.
I mean, that's interesting you say that because I'll say this, my final take to this is Desmond Howard was on the pivot, and I haven't even watched the episode yet, but in the sound clip that he took, he was talking about Nick Saban retiring and things. It was just literally recent, a couple of days ago. And he said an interesting thing that you said, the future of college football and the future of football in itself, NFL, all these new rules, all these new safety things. And in college football, everything is about the NIL and the transfer portal. He said that's what killed Nick Saban from continuing to coach. You have these guys that are from the old school football whose mentality is work and development and consistency. It's not, he can't basically saying Nick left because he couldn't control the players. That's what a lot of people are saying, and which understandably, I get what they're saying. Guys leave every year now, college football. We've never seen
Yeah,
it. It's like the NFL with free agents. And
it's a revolution.
Nick's like, man, I can't cheat the game that I love, the game that I knew. I gotta go. I'll leave. I'll let them deal with this shit.
Mm,
And that's really what he said, because it's
yeah,
hard to want to put all your effort in when you're not even getting buy-in from your players, and all they're worried about is getting paid in college. And now,
right.
at first, bro, I was like, when this happened, NIL being me, it's crazy. I had a real, very revelation. Like, I've had a very good spiritual moment of, I don't talk about my football trauma, me playing ball. It's been so long ago now, but I could relate. Like, I was like, damn, these dudes wanted to get paid. This is a big deal. They're getting paid, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I'm with Nick Saban. I don't think guys should get paid because it hinders the real love of the game for people like me. And I said this in one of our specials before. People aren't watching film like it no more. There's a select few, what I mean, because you got to think about how many people are in college football and NFL. And if you throw all the total numbers out of that, there's a small percentage of people that go to the NFL, and there's an even smaller percentage of people that really love football from the standpoint of not drinking, doing what they need to do in the weight room and speed and conditioning, watching film, doing their technique drills and all of that, and just having a good high character. And so Nick Saban said, man, I don't even have a 1/16th of percentage of people that I can buy into that anymore. And it's hard when I got to deal with this guy wanting to come here because he'd rather make $10 million in an NIL deal as an 18-year-old than going to a smaller school and getting $100,000. So it's nonsense. I'm not for it anymore. I don't feel like the guy should be penalized super, but I think there should be some very strong restrictions to the NIL. It should be for players that are balling. We shouldn't even make this thing an ideology of anything about everybody gets paid. No, fuck that. If you're not a baller, if you're not balling, if you're not Heisman worthy, I'm just being real. And I'll take this as my soundbite of the week. If you're not one of those guys, you shouldn't be getting NIL money. And there should be way more better rules on transfer portals. Guys shouldn't be able to leave before the bowl game. You should have to stick through the whole season, play it out. I understand if you're going to the league, and again, if you're one of those guys like Jaden Daniels sitting out of the bowl game for LSU, That's reasonable. He won the Heisman. He's going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL, or Caleb Williams. You shouldn't play. We know that. But if you're a bum, if you're starting, but you need to rise your stock up, but you don't want to get hurt, forget that. I'm not with that. So I'm with you, bro. I might watch college football less now because Nick Saban's not there, and he's just one of those pillars, not only as a coach, but in college football that changed the game forever, bro. So that's my piece on that. I had to get that off my chest. I haven't
Sure, yeah, and I think there was a lot of good stuff there. I think that I can see your frustration with it. Also, it's a little bit closer and more dear to your heart because you played. But I will say this: the amount of money that these schools make, big or small, they're still profiting off of these players. And to me, it looks like you guys are heading down a direction where it's the NFL. I mean, you could say NIL money all you want, but when it's going into that direction of money and players getting paid, it's almost looking like you might as well just make a salary cap and do what the NFL does and have a salary cap for these teams and pay everybody, small, big, or whatever, everyone get paid because there's a salary cap for every team, because that is the direction that it's going in. I feel like there's all this so and so should get paid, so and so shouldn't get paid, that kind of stuff. When it comes to human beings, they can't agree with that. Even if I'm a scrub, if I'm putting my life on the line, I could break my neck on the field any day now, but I'm still putting my life out there, just like the top prospect in the world. I still feel like I'm putting as much risk out there. I still want to get paid. So I just, my stance is a little bit different. My stance is more just like, if schools are going to be profiting off of this money and people are going to have a problem with that, which is okay, I think that's valid, then I think that you start making a salary cap, and it would change football. It would change so much football. It would be gross, and it's getting disgusting. And maybe the old ways was better, but then again, you know what? I mean, I can't really speak on it feeling gross to me or whatever, because I don't know what it's like to risk your life out there and possibly be injured for the next year of your life because you're playing this game.
Well, you risk your life in New York every day, living with those filthy rats and rodents in your sewers and shit like that. So, I mean, that's a pretty tough challenge,
bro. You don't want to start no.
On to the Super Wild Card weekend. Dun, 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 dun. Your Cleveland Browns at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 my Central Time is traveling to Houston, Texas. I have some news about Houston, Texas pretty soon, but I won't spoil it. Cleveland -2 in Houston versus the Texans this week. CJ Stroud. I don't know. Did he play that game they played when Amari Cooper? I don't remember if he did or he didn't, but Cleveland -2, over under 44.5. How do you see this game, and who are you going with?
So I looked at these games, and I'll start with this game, of course, but I was looking at the Dolphins-Chiefs as well. I can't really find an angle on these games. I know it's going to be cold in Kansas City, and it's outdoor. Browns and Texans, though. I would like to take the Browns, but CJ Stroud, and I think that we need to talk a little bit about this for this episode, because this episode might carry us throughout the playoffs. What CJ Stroud has done this year, what we're seeing from CJ Stroud, it is Peyton Manning-esque. It's Mahomes-esque. It is the Tom Brady-esque. It's the effect of a quarterback, the most important position in the game, on the field. Basically, you have that guy, you can beat anybody. And I mean that so wholeheartedly. Even when they didn't have him, they were getting their butts beat pretty badly. And then he comes back, and Nico Collins is going for 150 yards, and they're winning games, and the run game's on point, and the defense is playing better. It is a crazy effect that CJ Stroud has. And honestly, bro, I'm looking at all these quarterbacks right now in the playoffs, a lot of good quarterbacks. I don't know if there's anybody better than him besides Patrick Mahomes. And I'm so serious about that.
So who are you rolling with? I mean, you said a great.
Bro, I can't make. All right, you know what?
We've got to make a pick for the.
You got to make me do a pick?
We gotta make a pick for the people, man.
Bro,
This is
this
the
game.
playoffs. This is not regular season anymore.
See, I can't. And we got two great defenses, you know, and I don't want to bet on either team. The only angle that I can take if I have to, I mean, I don't want to pick. Do I have to make a pick for a team, or can I just say
You said
a bet?
over under. You can say the over under pick
What
for the
about a bet? What about a
okay.
player
Let's
bet?
go best bet. Let's go best bet. We'll do
Best bet is
best bet. Best bet.
Njoku. It's David Njoku over 55 yards. And it's kind of just because that's what he can get on an average. And it's in Houston is good against the defense on the tight ends. They're top 12, I believe. But top 12 ain't top 10. So I would take Njoku also because you do have the possibility that the offense will have to push the limits. But I mean, the game is in a few hours. I mean, I don't think anyone's laying no bets, but yeah.
I think this game, honestly, this is not my best bet. My best bet would be CJ Stroud to go over whatever his attempts are. I think just because D'Amico Ryans knows he has to throw this ball. Fuck a run game here. If he gets behind with this Cleveland defense, CJ Stroud's gonna have to play from behind. He's gonna throw a lot of passing attempts. So that's my best bet. But the way I do see this game going, far as choosing or either taking the line over or the over under, I see it going over. I think it's over 44.5 because if I don't side with the Browns defense, I think that Houston makes this a very good game, and it's definitely going over 44.5 because if you think of that, that's 20 to 20, win by a field goal, 23-20, that's 43. So it's got to be over that to me. So I see this going over 44.5.
Okay. I like it.
On to the frozen tundra, which they are showing tonight. This is a simple game for me. I don't even have anything to say. I'm being dead serious. Look at these games. Wait. And then, oh my gosh, I wish I could show you that on my screen as we were talking about it. And this goes right into my point, bro. I can't show you my TV, but they're showing a thing on NFL Kickoff Morning on ESPN. Kickoff temps under 40 degrees for the Dolphins' last 10 games. All losses. And that's what I said. They're not winning because it's simply the weather, bro. So give me Kansas City. I don't have nothing to say about Tyreek or I won the fucking fantasy. I don't got anything to say anymore about anybody playing good. I don't need nobody to do anything. If I'm putting my money on this game, a heavy dose of Isaiah Pacheco, and I would definitely it's just because where it's at. I'm going Kansas City money line, and I'll be brave, and I'll take the under 43.5. But there's no way Miami wins this game.
Well, you're not getting good odds with the money line on Kansas City. They're already favored by 5.
Well, I'll take Kansas City. I'll take Kansas City minus 3.5.
Okay. I would take the under 43.5. I think that you're right about Miami struggling, and Kansas City has struggled. So yeah, I would take the under.
There's nothing to really discuss with this one. It's in Kansas City, and the temperatures are going to be below 25 degrees, bro, at kickoff. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way. Like Kansas City, it's not good for them either, but they played in that before, bro. So that's all I'm saying. But yes, got a little bit of time left here. My Steelers going to Buffalo. And I was going to Buffalo. I'm going to say my pick because you already know which way I was going regardless. I'm going to ride with my team regardless. But after, I don't know if you've seen the little mayor of Buffalo or I don't know what she was, said some shit about the weather and said people don't come to the game, especially Steelers fans, because it's going to be rough regardless. Pause. It's going to be rough for us Steelers fans regardless. You know I don't call women out their name. But you hoochie, I don't want to call her a B word because I don't want no back flat. But you freaking, I don't know what she is. You said that, you woke something up in me. My Steelers will win, Parlay. You listen to me, you listen clearly.
Win.
We will win. We're built for this snow game. We're built for this cold shit. Buffalo's not built for it. TJ Watt is out, but they don't have Gabe Davis either. So that will become a factor. All eyes will be on Stephon in the snow. This makes it even easier for us. Alex Highsmith will get after fucking Josh Allen, and we will win. Steelers
Yeah,
plus 10. Steelers plus
I
9.
said it yesterday. I would take the Steelers plus. It was 10. Now it's 9.5.
See how it's coming down.
And I would take that because I mean this is going to be a close game. I don't think that it could be. Let's say Buffalo. Listen, well, Buffalo also they haven't been an offensive team all year. They've been more of a balanced team, and I think that with defense and offense, and Josh Allen has had to scrape away. James Cook had to scrape away. There's games where they really have to focus on one player getting the best of another team, and I don't know. They're kind of just like this. Either whatever team wins this, I'm not going to be picking them in the next round. I'll tell you that much. But I will take the Steelers plus 9.5, and I think that's a good. It's going to be close. It's going to be cold. I would even look at the under 33.5. We've had games this year where like 9 points have been scored. Like this is just a different type of NFL this year where there's games, especially the weather is a huge factor this year. It really. Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
The weather is a huge factor this year. It really messes with these guys' playbooks.
And just to be fair, and this is not biased, but we've been running the ball a little bit better than the Bills of late, and that's going to matter. So I rely on us. On to Sunday afternoon, 3:30. This has no weather complications, but this is an intriguing game. We got 6 minutes left, Parlay, just to let you know. Packers versus Cowboys. I don't know which way I want to go with this.
I know.
Really,
I'm going to take Dallas.
Man,
I'm going to take Dallas.
It's an interesting game. Over under.
I'm going to take Dallas.
50.5. Last time these two teams played, I believe the Packers won, didn't they? I don't
know, but you know what, bro? This is Dallas's year, bro. They have to make it at least to the NFC Championship.
Well, that's
the Packers
what we say. That's what we say always.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. This is early. It's the first round. They at least got to get out of the first round. Give me Dallas -7. They're a better overall team.
My best bet here is, I will say this. My best bet is Dak over 1.5 touchdowns. I will say that. My best bet. Okay. All righty. This is the game of the week in my eyes, as far as from what me and you, we see different on this. But I'm rolling. I'm sticking with it. Rams +3. Best bet. Easily.
Okay. And
Sam Laporta is still a questionable. He may play, but how healthy will he be if he does play? I like Puka. I like Cooper Kupp. I like Matthew Stafford coming back home. Rams defense been playing better. They're going to be fired up. They're in a dome, so they don't have to worry about weather. Rams +3.
Okay. The over started at 50. It's at 51.5. I still like the over. I'm taking Detroit. I know they're trending down and the Rams are trending up, but I still love that run game in Detroit. Two guys can get 100 yards. It's awesome. Like I think that they have that's going to really carry them. Jared Goff has to ball out, and both these defenses are suspect though. So I just feel like Detroit is slightly better than the Rams, but the Rams are hot and it's playoffs. So my best bet would be to over 51.5, but I am rocking with Detroit. I'm hoping for a Detroit and a Cleveland Super Bowl. I just want to put that out there.
You want to tell the fans about your non-financial advice you did with the Cleveland and the Detroit?
No.
Okay, already. On to the Monday night ending wild card game. Eagles at Bucks. There has just been word. I don't know who just reported it. If it was Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, even
yeah,
but I don't report it. But AJ Brown's out.
Yeah.
I see this game now going a whole different way, my friend. I think that the Bucks, being that they played them earlier in the year, they got a great understanding of the Eagles' identity, and the Eagles are another team just like the Dolphins who've been trending down the last 6 games. I really will not be surprised. My friend, I don't know if I would keep Sirianni after this. They've been trending down, no real adjustments. Same thing that they thought they could rely on, bully ball, run the ball. If Jalen Hurts couldn't run the ball, now his fingers hurt. He doesn't have his best receiver. This is really Going to be an interesting game Monday night. I think if Baker can just not be Baker, but be that Baker where he doesn't think about the media, doesn't let the big moment get to him. He has Mike Evans versus a very shitty Eagles defensive back right now, and Chris Godwin and Rashad White runs the ball well. A couple good tight ends. O-line's been okay. The Bucs defense is fairly decent. They can play against the Eagles with no A.J. Brown, where you have to rely on Devontae Smith to be your number one guy, which he can be, but that's just more pressure now because he plays better when he has the complement of A.J. Brown. What do you say? This is in the makings of an upset. I would definitely lean to the Bucs +3 at home. And the over-under is 43.5. I think it leans a little bit more to the over, just like I said with that Houston and Cleveland game. But I like the Bucs here +3.
+3. And I think that +3 is good. I will take Philly money line. I just, the Bucs only put up like 9 points last week to get that last win. I still don't think they're a better team than Philadelphia. But I would look towards the under, and I'll just take the Philly money line to be safe. But I wouldn't be taking Philly -3.
I will say this. If Philly wins, it's not going to just, people are going to say, oh, they ran the ball good, which they will have to run the ball good to win. But it is just the whole identity of winning the trenches on both sides. This whole overloaded of power they have on D-line has to show up. It has to. Because their defensive backs outside of Darius Slay, me and you could play better than that. I'm just being absolute real. If they don't win the trenches on both sides, this will be a long night. I say the Bucs +3. You say the Eagles money line. Hey man, any last thoughts to the Super Wild Card weekend?
No, we got to get out of here. It's about to shut down on us. So you know what it is. Bro Bets in the house. Bro Media Production. I'm Parlay Hunter.
Hey man, I'm Life of D Green, man. Hey, tune in. Like we always say, there's no we don't give out financial advice. You handle your situations as you handle. Don't let your wife or your girlfriends, put you in the doghouse because you spent the kids' money on making some fucking bad decisions on DraftKings or something like that. But as always, man, tune in. Next week, we will have a jam-packed divisional. I'm looking forward. Lamar's at home sitting. Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, and the boys at home sitting, waiting to see who they're going to play. Hey, man, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is.
Got the Steeler towel.
You know what it is. You know what it is. It's been real. We out of here, man.